That's Eric Cabral, and he's been wrestling all through high school. This year, he takes his place as team captain for the Booker Tornadoes. I'm Colton Mazinas, and I'll have that story coming up on Game On Profiles.
The Sarasota Sailors girls basketball team had a great season, finishing at 23-4, led by one of their juniors, Emily Harding. Emily helped the team by scoring a lot of points as the Sailors won the district championship. Staying on the hardwood, the Riverview Rams boys basketball team made a good run this season as one of their juniors, Nick Havener, took control on the court and scored often and helped his team win games and winning the district title for the Rams. All of those stories on this edition of Game On Profiles, and we kick off now.
You got to get out, don't walk.
There you go.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Game On Profiles, where you get the chance to meet some of the outstanding student athletes from our Sarasota County District High Schools. I'm Maverick Johnson. The Booker Tornadoes wrestling team has wrapped up their season, and this year one of their juniors really excelled on the mat. He's Eric Cabral, and he wrestles in the 132-pound weight class and has become one of the team leaders and has worked very hard to earn his success. Our student reporter, Colton Mazinas, caught up with Eric and his head coach and has this story about one motivated wrestler.
Let's go, guys. Get a partner.
That is Eric Cabral. He's a junior, and he wrestles in the 132-pound weight class for the Booker Tornadoes.
Since my freshman year, I think I improved a lot because my coaches helped me out.
Improvement is essential if you're going to succeed on the mat,
Forward, forward, back. Push, push, pull.
and Eric has worked hard to gain an edge and pin his opponents.
I don't really have a favorite move. I just do whatever I can to pin the person or to score points, whatever it takes.
You can snap them off the 2-on-1 you had, Eric.
The Booker wrestling coach is Bill Pitts, and he likes what he sees, especially when Eric hits the mat.
Fast as you can. One of Eric's best qualities is that he works really hard. He never misses practice, and he really has a desire to do well and be a state champion.
Eric strives for perfection on the mat, and sometimes performs moves that surprise even his coach.
He has good moves. He has some funky moves that we like to think of. Where when he was young, well, when he was a freshman, I used to think he was going to get pinned a lot, but he didn't. He would use these crazy moves that you would never teach him. I don't know where he got them, but he would the guy would take him down and he'd turn him into pins. And so we stopped worrying as much about him doing that kind of stuff, because he doesn't really get pinned.
I don't know, like I just go on YouTube and I just YouTube different moves and like not crazy moves, not that crazy, but you know, moves that are possible to do on the mat.
Eric is one of the team captains, and he takes his role seriously.
Because he leads by example. Like when we warm the kids up, I still am actively involved in it, but I don't have to be, because he'll make sure everybody does what they have to do. He'll lead them. Same thing if we're outside throwing tires over for exercise or things like that, he will always be the guy making sure that everybody else on the team does it.
As his coach said, Eric likes to help his teammates get better.
During practice, I help them out with everything. Like if they mess up, I tell them to redo it until they get it right. And then we just keep on practicing hard.
That's good, up, just snaps, nothing else.
Practice is practice, but when it's time for a match, Eric knows it's game time.
He's what I call a match wrestler. He's actually better when he's in the match. He just gets that little bit more, it seems like, all the time, and does well. So he's really a good match wrestler. Listen, do 5, then the other guy does 5.
Eric has been an impressive match wrestler and finished the year with a record of 42-5. Very impressive. And he won a silver medal in this year's state tournament.
It feels great. Yeah, it feels real great. I don't know. During districts, I won districts, and it felt so great just winning districts. And then going to states, winning matches at states, I don't know, that was one of my accomplishments.
Fast, guys, let's go.
Eric hopes to continue wrestling after he graduates.
I want to be a cop when I grow up, and I want to wrestle for college. It doesn't matter, like D3, D2, you know, hopefully D1, but who knows.
Keep going. Good job, Eric.
Eric has been a pleasure to coach, and he gives back helping the other wrestlers.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always good to have a kid that's willing to help other kids. That's the other thing that he does well, is show technique that he knows. Like, our team basically this year is almost all brand new guys, and he helps a lot in showing new guys how to do things.
Eric will be back for his senior season, and he hopes to win that state championship and continue to improve and help his teammates win matches for the Booker Tornadoes. Reporting for Game On Profiles, I'm Colton Bazinas.
All right, well, Colton, let's talk a little bit about wrestling. I mean, how much high school wrestling have you been a part of, and what was your impressions at practice? Because it seemed kind of intense.
I've had some friends in wrestling, but I've never really gotten into it myself, and I've never really looked into it or really seen any of it. But when I first saw it, it was really, it's like a lifestyle. They're very into it. It's kind of just the way that they are, and there's no other way to be.
You know, one of the things that I found interesting was, you know, he wants to wrestle in college, and he's been very successful, but he's also looking at law enforcement, so he's kind of dual focused here as he looks into his senior year. Very talented young man.
Definitely, definitely. He's very talented, and I could see law enforcement definitely benefiting from his wrestling experience, and I definitely see him going on to college and being very successful there.
You know, it's interesting. He's kind of grown up in the sport, and Coach was talking a little bit about that. Won the district championship, and second, a silver in state. Very impressive, and I think just what you showed us in your piece, the dedication of his practice routine is, I think, a lot of what has ultimately resulted in his success.
Oh, absolutely. He's very in charge. Most times I've seen him in charge. He takes over, he kind of like commands the mat, and it's very impressive.
Taking time on his own to improve his craft as well. Coach was talking about some of his crazy moves, and that's a quote directly from the coach. And where did he get him, or how did he do it? And he admits to going on YouTube and just searching wrestling moves that people haven't seen or knew. And it's kind of fun and interesting part of the story that you brought to us a little bit.
Exactly. Like I said, it's a lifestyle. He's in wrestling mode all the time. He's always thinking about it. It's always in the back of his head. It's very evident.
It's a very interesting piece, and I will say one of the things that I want to close with is Coach gave him credit for getting his teammates better, and I think that's a sign of not only a good student athlete and somebody going to that next level, maybe in wrestling in college, but just in life in terms of law enforcement or whatever. Did you notice that in practice, him helping teammates?
Oh, most definitely. He's a true leader, definitely.
Unbelievable. Great story. Thanks for bringing us some high school wrestling. All right, we got more Game On Profiles in a minute. Stay with us here on the Education Channel.
Number 21 is Emily Harding. She's one of the leading scorers and a big reason why the Lady Sailors have won so many games. I'm Shelby Shea, and I'll have that story coming up on Game On Profiles.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous.
Welcome back to Game On Profiles. I'm Maverick Johnson. For our next story, the Sarasota Sailors girls basketball team has completed their season, and they won the district championship. This season, one of their team leaders is a junior, Emily Harding. Emily loves to play basketball, and she spent a lot of time on the court working on her game. especially her shooting over and over. Emily's hard work has paid off. As our student reporter Shelby Shea found out, Emily is one Sailor basketball player that just loves being part of a team.
How did you get into playing basketball?
I first started playing soccer and softball. Those were my first two sports. And then, I don't know, I was like, oh, I want to try something new, so I got into basketball.
What's the best part of playing basketball?
Well, definitely just I love our team, and we've all been playing together for a while. We're so together, and it's just so fun. I look forward to playing every single day, and it's just fun for me.
What's it like to be one of the leading scorers and have your team counting on you to score so many points every night?
Well, it's different for me. It's my first year actually being like one of the leading scorers. In my freshman and sophomore year, we had a lot of talent, and so I was kind of just, oh, I'll pass it to them, they'll do whatever they do. So it's definitely different. I wouldn't say there's pressure on me really, because there have been nights when I don't score the most points, and somebody else, when that doesn't happen, somebody else always steps up. So it's nothing to like worry about or have pressure on.
So what's it like to hit, like the game-winning shot or one of the most important scores of the night?
Well, I like to have the ball in my hands at the end of the game. I like to be in control. I feel comfortable, and I don't get like nervous or anything. So I like having the control of that, and I like being able to be counted on to score or do whatever I need to do at the end of the game.
I know it's a year away, but what schools do you think you want to go to, and what would you want to study?
If I don't play basketball, I would probably prefer to go to like a bigger school, like possibly University of Florida. I'm still undecided on my major, but hopefully I would like to either go into education or psychology.
Match up man to man, all right?
Emily is one of the co-captains of the Lady Sailors varsity basketball team. She's 5'10", but she can still knock down a three. She averages over 12 points a game and gets at least 5 rebounds. What's the main thing that Emily brings to the team?
Emily brings consistency and leadership. She's on a nightly basis always one of our leading scorers. She's a leader on defense. She's typically gets the toughest defensive assignment, and she does a great job every night playing defense. And she doesn't mind playing defense, so that's really helps.
How does Emily use her size to her advantage when she plays?
Well, Emily does a really good job with her footwork, and she can also jump, which is something that's kind of a rare thing for girls basketball players. She's pretty long, she can jump, and when the ball ends up in her hands, she usually knows what to do with it, especially when she's close into the basket.
Emily's really stepped up as one of your leading scorers this year. How does that benefit your team?
You do need to have 1 or 2 kids every night to be able to bring their offensive game, and Emily's played varsity ball for this now being her 3rd year, and she's played on teams with some really good players, so she's adapted, learned, and now that those players have moved on, she stepped right into that role that we need. It's a consistent scorer on offense, and she fills it beautifully.
Do you see Emily playing at the next level?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, she has what a lot of the college coaches look for to play at that level. She has the ability to create her own shot. She's tall, she can knock down a 3. She's extremely coachable, can play great defense. She just has a lot going for her. Excellent free throw shooter.
All right, so let's first talk about basketball. She was playing soccer and softball, and then one day just decides, I want to play basketball?
Yeah, and it's a really good thing that she did. I guess she just kind of fell in love with it.
Well, it's interesting because now over the last couple of years, she's kind of elevated on the team, and from being somebody that was kind of just a part of the team, now as a junior, she's become a team leader, team scorer. I mean, she's one of the key components on the Sailor basketball team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's a huge part of our basketball team.
Now, she loves to have the ball in her hands. She doesn't mind pressure. Is that something, I know you kind of play on the JV team, so you guys practice a lot together. Is that something you observe and practice watching her in terms of just really liking the opportunity to kind of be in control of the ball and have it in her hands?
Yeah, Emily is she's amazingly confident. Actually, I think everybody on the team is a little bit jealous of how well she handles the ball and herself on the court.
Has it been interesting to watch her, even as this season has progressed, and maybe her confidence grow as a team leader, as a ball handler, as somebody that the team can count on?
Yeah, it's been really cool to, witness it and be a part of it. Emily is a fantastic leader. We're really lucky to have her.
Coach says a lot of good things about her, and she actually has big plans. She really wants to maybe play basketball in college. That's something she's hoping. She's not, for sure it's going to happen, but talk to me a little bit about that.
Definitely. I absolutely think Emily could play in college, either play for a smaller school or just go to a big university. Either one would be lucky to have her.
Well, let's talk a little bit about playing in high school. She had the opportunity to play as a freshman, as a sophomore, now as a junior. Her senior year, is this something that she's going to spend a lot of time in the off season to try to prepare for this, whether it be for college or just for her senior year in high school?
Definitely. Emily plays a lot of different sports. I think she's going to work really hard in the off season. She always does.
Great job on the story. Thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you.
We've got more Game On Profiles in a minute. Stay with us here on the Education Channel.
You ready to help? You ready to help, man? See it. See both. See both. See both.
He's one of the Rams' top rebounders and leading scorers, and he has big dreams for his basketball career.
Defense, good job, baby. Good job. Good job.
I'm Jessica Ward, and I'll have that story coming up for you on Game On Profiles.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If your home was built before 1978, it could contain harmful lead paint. Learn the danger zones. Protect your kids. Visit leadfreekids.org.
Welcome back to Game On Profiles. I'm Maverick Johnson. For our final story, the Riverview Rams boys basketball team had a great season, winning their district. One reason the Rams won the district crown was one of their juniors, Nick Havener. Nick plays center, and he's listed at 6'9". Nick moves very well for a big man, and as our student reporter Jessica Ward found out, Nick has big plans for his game and looks forward to his senior season.
Let's go. Let's go. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Good, Adam. Good close.
Why did you start playing?
I was tall, so I thought that it would be a good sport for me.
Good. Follow Nick. Follow Nick. Talk on the screen.
What's it like to be the tallest kid all the time?
Well, I kind of got used to it. I mean, I don't feel any different between other people.
Help side. Be ready to help. Come up. Come up. Come up.
What do you like about playing basketball?
I like being able to help my team win games.
Let's go. Let's go.
What do you like most about playing basketball for Riverview?
I like being around a really good group of kids and playing with people that are the same skill set as me.
Talk on it. Get back. Get back. Get back. Straight up. Straight up. Box out.
What is it like being a part of a competitive game in front of a rowdy student section like the ones at Riverview?
It's a really good atmosphere having all those fans come out and cheer for us, and it really helps our game.
Space, good, good. Sit down, sit down, sit down.
And what do you hope to accomplish in the future?
We hope to win a state championship.
Good help, recover, recover.
What do you hope to accomplish for yourself?
Play college basketball and hopefully professionals.
Good, good, good. Move it, move it, move it.
What's your role on the floor during every single game?
I have to be able to do everything I can to help my teammates score the ball and when I have the opportunity to take the shot.
Close out, step up, step up, step up, recover.
In a close game, do you look for the ball, and what is it like to have the ball in your hands?
I like having the ball when it comes down to the final shot or so, but when it comes down to those last couple seconds, I like being able to trust my teammates to give them an open shot.
Talk, talk, talk. Let's go.
Do you think that your teammates look to you to score for them, and what is it like to be dependent on?
I feel like they do depend on me to score, but not do more than that I'm capable of. Like, I have a certain level at which I can play at, but anything past that, I shouldn't do.
There you go. See it, see it, see it. You're trying to score offense. Box out. Box out.
Nick is 6'9", and he is the team captain of this season's Rams team. He leads the team in rebounds, and he is also one of the team's top scorers.
Run right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What does Nick bring to your team?
Well, as a captain, he brings leadership, both coming into practice every day and working hard and leading by example, but also in practice and in games in the locker room of verbal leadership and trying to make sure that guys understand our expectations for each player and as a team as a whole, and making sure that people are trying to live up to those expectations. Each other, talk, get back, Vic, good.
How does Nick impact his team?
He has a huge impact on our team. I mean, he leads our team in almost every statistical category except for scoring, and he's second in scoring, but he leads in rebounds and blocks, so he has a huge impact on the game on the defensive end, and he's such a presence offensively that other teams really have to look out for him, and that really opens up the outside for some of our perimeter players.
Stay down. How does he impact his teammates?
Well, he's just a great teammate. You know, Nick loves to compete. He loves to win. He pushes himself. He pushes his teammates. But he's a great kid. You know, he's compassionate. He's caring. You know, he gets along with everybody. He's funny. You know, he's well liked. You know, that's why they vote him as a captain. 2 points. Let's go. Let's go.
What is it like coaching Nick?
It's a pleasure coaching Nick. You know, I've had the opportunity to coach Nick since you know, he was a little kid. He grew up playing Suncoast, and he was coming to camps and things like that. It's a great pleasure. He works incredibly hard. He's very coachable. He listens. He tries to understand, and you know, he tries to go out and implement what you want him to do.
What is Nick's best asset?
I think Nick's best asset is has so many assets. You know, I mean, he's not a one-dimensional player. He can do so many things on the court. From, you know, he can shoot the basketball, he can post up, he can handle the basketball, he can pass, he can defend. He's just, you know, so well versed in so many different areas. I think that in and of itself is his best asset.
All right, well, let's first start off on the height thing. 6'9" in high school, you don't see, especially in our area, a lot of kids 6'9". You looked like you were very short compared to him. Talk to me about just that whole piece, interviewing him.
Yeah, I'm 5'5", so he definitely looked like a giant. And he's always like that. At school, you just see him. You don't even have to, he can be all the way down there. You're going to see him coming down the hallway because he's so much taller than everyone else at school.
The other thing that was interesting in your piece is he seems, and I don't know him, and you know him a little bit. You go to school with him, obviously, and did the story. He seems very shy, at least in your interview. That's the way he came across to me. Is he that shy?
Yes. I mean, I've done interviews with him before, and it's like pulling teeth. But I think it's like he's humble, and I like that. And a good player, a player that's really, really good, I like to see them being humble and not cocky.
Yeah, it's very refreshing. The other thing that was kind of interesting is, you know, he doesn't even embellish in terms of being cocky or whatever. It does seem very humble because Coach was saying he leads in almost every category except one where he's a top 2 in terms of scoring. Mm-hmm. So confident on the court, though, because he's a team leader both in practice and a game. So it's kind of an interesting dichotomy, being humble but a leader on the court. And that's something I know you've been to a lot of games that you've seen him develop on the court.
Yes. He actually, in the off season, he plays for Nike Team Florida, which is an elite team. So to be able to come from there and go into high school and just be completely humble, like you're not this great player, that to me is something special.
And, you know, his future plans, obviously he would love to play in college. And you were telling me, you know, he's a junior, so that's going to be something for next year. Mm-hmm. Does he have any goals in particular in the meantime, just to win another district title maybe at state and then focus on the college next year, or what's his plan?
I don't think that he's verbally committed anywhere yet. I definitely know that he wants to play basketball in the future in college, but he's very smart. So even without basketball, he would definitely be going to college, and he's going to be someone very successful.
Well, just great job on the story and a lot of fun to learn a little bit about him. We've got more Game On profiles in a minute. Stay with us here on the Education Channel.
A little laugh. A little adventure. A little help. A little bit of your support can start something big. Start something today at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Well, that'll wrap up this edition of Game On Profiles. We want to thank all of our student reporters for their fine stories. For all of us from Game On Profiles, we thank you for joining us. I'm Maverick Johnson. Game on!